Students connecting with professionals.
My path is a little unconventional.
A networking system.
I initially wanted to be a veterinarian. I liked animals and I liked biology, but I think after a while I realized that being a vet wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I liked biology. So I went to the University of Minnesota here for my undergraduate degree. So I got a undergraduate degree in biology, and then I went to University of Illinois at Chicago and got my master's degree there, and that was in molecular biology. And then after that I ended up working in a research lab at Northwestern University in Chicago for 8 years, and then moved back here and have been working in this lab for about 14 years. And so molecular biology is kind of what my area that I'm in now.
So what interested you to biology, and more specifically molecular biology?
Oh gosh, well I think biology in the beginning, was probably when I was younger, and I liked being outdoors and watching ants, or watching, just watching things grow, looking at plants. How do they grow? Like, how do they change? And but then when I got into college and took classes, it was really fun seeing like the next level down, like the cells. Like, how do the cells interact? And what kind of signals happen between cells to tell like a plant to grow? How does a plant know to make a leaf and a stem? And likewise with animals, like how do the cells that start out as a single cell turn into an organism and create a leg or limbs or heart or liver? What messages are going on to make that happen? So I've always been fascinated amazed with biology. Molecular biology is kind of the area, and cell biology, genetics, development, it kind of all works together. And so I study a particular protein that is involved in regulating gene expression. So genes are, our DNA is made up of many genes, and each gene kind of codes for a protein, and those proteins make up our body, whether it's metabolism or enzymes or structure. And so we study a protein that regulates gene expression. And so if it goes wrong, there's a human syndrome, a developmental syndrome, that actually when our protein of interest is mutated, they have a lot of things go wrong during early development. So when they're in utero, like growing as an embryo and fetus, things go wrong, and they have small eyes, they have brain defects, they have digital, their fingers fuse together or stay fused together. They have heart defects. What else? Oh, those are a few of them. So, but our goal is to kind of try and figure out how does our protein interact in those tissues, because each tissue is made up of different types of cells. Like eye tissue is different than heart tissue. So how is our protein playing a role in all these different tissues? We would like to figure out what's going wrong so that maybe in the future some not cure, but we'll understand how our protein functions better, and then maybe that knowledge can be used, say, for curing a defect or curing cancer, because our gene is also involved in some types of cancer, B-cell lymphomas in particular. So if we can understand better how our protein works at a basic level, like in a normal situation, then you can compare it to what's abnormal, and then try to figure out if there's a way that you can alleviate that or fix it or cure it. So yeah, what we do then is try to gather data about the differences or the phenotypes that occur, and then we gather that data and try and put it together to do a publication in a journal, in a scientific journal. And so that's kind of the goal for us, is to get publications, and then as you get publications, then you apply for another grant, or my boss applies for grants. And then, if we get funded, then I get paid under that grant. So it's the way that we sort of make things work is through NIH grants, which is a federal funded grants. If you are going to go to like a particular professor and contact them, I would say the best thing to do is look up what their research is. And even though you don't understand it all, I would say try to read a paper of theirs or a couple papers of theirs to understand at least kind of what they're doing, because that makes a good impression with a professor. They will be a lot more impressed if you've read and you know a few words from what they're doing in their research. Will make a good impression on them. So that will oftentimes give you that little edge to get in the lab. So go biology.